I was on a plane next to a guy who was about my age, who said he'd never thought about religion before. Now, I was genuinely intrigued, so I said, "Hey, I'm intrigued. Are you serious? You've never thought about why we're here on earth, not at a funeral, or when someone's been really unwell?" And he said, "No." Then later in the conversation, he asked, "Everyone goes to heaven, right?" Which was a bit awkward, so I said, "Actually, that's a bit awkward because, well, no, we don't. To get to heaven, the Bible says that we have to be perfect, which none of us are." And then to help him understand, I realized I needed to draw it out for him, really quick and simple. Now, being able to articulate our faith briefly is an important thing to be able to do. Let me show you what I showed him. The Bible says that in the beginning there was God. God made everything and He made it awesome. And then God made people. And He gave us free will though, so that we could have relationship with Him and each other. Without free will, we'd be like robots or slaves. The problem is that we chose to use that free will to go our own way instead of walking with God. We chose to do things that are wrong, that are selfish, and so on. And the Bible simply calls these things sin. And sin separates us from God. The problem with all this is that one day we're going to die. And there's only two places we can go, either to heaven, which is to be with God, or hell, which is to be separated from God. And so most religions recognize this. There's something wrong with the world, there's something out there, and we do different things to try and get back to God. We do good deeds, we give money to charities, but none of these things can really help us because none of them can make us perfect. And this is where Christianity brings something really amazing to the table. You see, Christianity tells us, to quote a Bible verse, that God loved us. He loved the world so much that He gave His only Son, Jesus, so that whoever believed in Him would not die, but live forever. You see, God came to earth as a human being, did nothing wrong, but then when He died and came back to life on that cross, that was to take the punishment for our sin. And what it means for us is very simple. As we journey in life, we have a choice to make. We can either choose to go our way, or we can choose to go God's way. Now, having shared this message, if you wanted to turn it back to a conversation, here are 3 simple questions you could ask. First of all, where do you see yourself to be in this picture? Secondly, where would you like to be in this picture? And if they said they were here and would like to be here, then the third question could simply be, can you see any reason why you wouldn't want to choose right now to commit to walk on God's path with your life? Now suppose they said yes, a prayer is as simple as A, B, C. A, we admit that we've done wrong and we ask for God's forgiveness. B, because we believe in what Jesus did at the cross for us. And then C, we commit to follow His path for the rest of our lives. However, supposing they said they weren't ready to do this, we could simply ask, well, what might be hindering you? And then we could choose to engage that conversation. You know, the Christian message is really very simple. And if a person can accept that God exists and that evil and wrongdoing is a problem on this planet, the Christian message is very good news. And with a simple drawing like this, it's possible to communicate it clearly when we have a chance. In fact, even without paper or a digital device, it's possible to communicate this message, letting the drawing play itself out in our minds. In Romans 10:14, it says, "How will people know if someone doesn't tell them?" And Peter says in 1 Peter 3, "Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have, but do this with gentleness and respect." As God's people on earth, it is our responsibility to know how to share this message. And this drawing can help. So why not revise this drawing and even practice it so that you will not fail to communicate a simple and clear message when the opportunity comes. I hope this helps.